physical death of the body is a real thing. And then the reality of that is, what's my relationship with my body, and then what's my relationship with what I might call consciousness. But I think many people have had experiences where the veil between us and what I call our ancestors now, and and that's the other thing. I traveled to many different lands where ancestors are an important aspect of the village. They're an important contributor to continued community and village life. And when I started to take up not necessarily their practices, but my own connection, and really make steps towards a connection with my ancestors, guided by my teachers, then I think our relationship with death changes again. It's my intention to be a very good ancestor as well. So again, I don't feel like I'm going to leave my people as much as when I'm in the little me part, little Penny part, that's, not going to be here. And it's like, a part of me, hopefully, and I don't know because I don't know yet, but will be a healthy ancestor. I'll be whispering in your ear, Adara. But again, you could be my ancestor one day. We don't know.
Don't know
because it isn't age related.
No, it's not.
It's not. And that's a mistake that we can make, and think that we'll think about that at a later time, or we'll consider, our end of life care or whatever at a different time. So there's a balance of not being obsessed with our end of life. And then there's this healthy place of including it in our lives that allows us to live in that incorporated place where death is incorporated into life.
I love that. And would that be your living well, dying well sort of philosophy? Is taking things slow and savoring and being in grace, and also including and incorporating it into your life?
Yeah. I mean, when you say living well, dying well, I always think of our program with the Center for Earth and Spirit. And it's, that program has evolved over 4 years, I think now. And I was just an advisor in the beginning, and now I facilitate it because, yes, we'll probably die how we live. In some ways, there's some part of that I could say I could see in those loved ones that I've journeyed with, and then, there's been some that have been sudden, and yet in some ways it has been a reflection of that person's, living. So that the more that we include a healthy respect for life and death, that our living changes. It just does. I mean, I don't know.
I get that. That's funny. So cool. I love that. So I want to just talk briefly before you go about a program that you're running. I mean, this video is going to live forever, so I don't want to get too specific, but that sort of some workshops and things that people could incorporate in their life would be like to really honor the ancestors and the village work and group. Like, talk to me a little bit about just sort of that importance, or what you're helping people to sort of bring into their awareness.
Well, right now, I'm offering a program, just an evening with the Center for Earth and Spirit, around a return to family and village-centered death care. And in it, I share a brief slideshow that just really to inspire imagination, inspire people to wonder, one, about their early experiences of death and how they may be informing their living and their relationship with death. And then to have a deeper conversation with others who show up for that evening, because it's always so fruitful to hear other people's stories and their experiences, because they add and grow the learning. It's like a medicine circle where the learning keeps growing through that. And so I feel like I seed that, my interest is in seeding that. We don't know what's possible unless it's modeled to us. And we've had a different model, and we've had many years, and there is something different about the West Coast where cremation just flourished, and it made it easy to not have to tend the body and death in that interim time. That they come and take your loved one's body away, and then cremation happens, and then you have these ashes, and during that time maybe the family is scrambling with creating a ceremony or whatever, but actually rather than scrambling, those 3 days could be spent differently, let's say, slowed down, like what I said before. And so that's coming. And then that class, I can go on and on about the potency of that time. I mean, if you're a meditator, it's a blessing. You're given 3 days and 3 nights, and you're in a community, hopefully, and sometimes you're not. Sometimes that's not possible. Even during COVID, this young woman had myself. She had Pashta Mary Moon, who's a well-known midwife, death midwife in Canada, and myself, the 3 of us. But she set up the possibility to have what she wanted for her mom, and it happened. And then I also will be offering Living Well, Dying Well, which is a 6-week program, and it's applicable to anyone at any age. And we had a mother-daughter do the program last time, and we've had couples do it together, so they talk about what their medical wishes would be as far as their advanced care plan, and some of those really tangible things. But our interest is also to just keep deepening that conversation. And then last but not least, I'm going to offer a little intro to a program that a version of I've taught for probably 10 or 15 years, based on my mentor Angeles Arian's work on the 8 gates of initiation, or 8 gates of wisdom, she called them. And I feel that this time of COVID has reinvigorated me around these 8 gates and how potent they are as containers and portals for personal work and personal care and collective care and village care.
Yeah, I had my girlfriends all come, and you
right.
The property, and we were at different gates. You had actual literal gates, remember?
We did. John and I created the gates as a tangible walking journey on the land. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yep. You're right. I forgot. How could I forget that?
I wish I could find that journal. That journal you gave me, I don't remember if you remember, but it said Grace on the front, and it was this pink sort of corally journal, and that it was where I got it, was during that 8 gates, and I spoke all about that in the beginning of it. And that was the journal I took with myself to Ireland and wrote my entire self-love journey. And I've lost it. I've misplaced it. So it's been interesting going without that, because I felt like there was a lot of potent material in there that I've had to allow to possibly just never be seen again, So anyway, it's a little mini death.
That's right, a little death. And maybe it's because you wrote it into your body. It's incorporated into you. And if you're meant to find it, you will.
So good. I could just talk to you for hours, obviously. And I so appreciate you speaking, and I love just your perspective, obviously, and your wisdom, and the opening and space you create for people to have their own discovery and their own wisdom show up for them with a little bit of modeling, as you said. I thought that was so perfectly said, because anything is possible. It's like, this is such a rich soil of life and beauty that we get to play in, and we so often forget all the beautiful nuances to it, and the I don't know, just the ever expanding journey that we can choose to be on. We so often get stuck with the way it's got to be, or the way we've been doing it, or we forget to look at the past and see sort of what you're saying around looking into the ancestors and asking good questions, sort of to help guide us through our present day. Lots of goodness there. And you facilitate it so beautifully. Okay, so I will put all your information below this, and I encourage people to reach out, and I will be taking the Living Well, Dying Well with Ryan, absolutely. And again, I really appreciate your time and for you being here.
Oh, well, it's just my deep honor, Adara. I just love you, as you know, and have loved watching all the beautiful things that you have shared and that you continue to dare them.
Oh, you got it. Oh my gosh, talk about it. Oh, that was a winner back in the day, my dear. Oh, and now a question for you. Are you still helping people with their ceremonies as well for
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
you
So
do
I do funerals and memorials and, yeah, yeah. And weddings. I do
wedding.
weddings. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You were
Yeah.
an absolute, like, marvelous just a facilitator for us, because we were having sort of a new age, if you will, wedding, and you
Don't
so
say that.
don't say
Don't say that.
that.
It's a
What? The new age word?
new age.
Oh, new age. We were having an alternative. We were having a spiritual wedding in our terms of what we want
Exactly.
for ourselves. And you so
Yes.
beautifully wove in just some beautiful key pieces for us. And yes, so I would highly recommend people, if you're getting married or if you're contemplating and looking at your death and or going through something like that with a loved one, that you reach out to Penny.
Mm.
Thank you.